I'm Nural and I'm here with another scrapbooking video, so welcome to my channel. Recently I got this scrapbooking kit from the Flying Tiger store. Flying Tiger is a Danish brand that has over 1,000 stores worldwide, and they have 2 stores in Turku, where I live in Finland. So I usually visit their store at least once a week because they have a large selection of stationery items like pens and notebooks. They have kitchenware like different glasses and mugs and things, and some party items like balloons, and their prices are a little cheaper than the average, I guess. So I quite like it, and when I got the set, I knew that I wouldn't use everything in it, but I still wanted to get it because I liked the papers and the stickers. So what it comes with is there's a notebook. There are 5 sheets of papers that I used 2 of them. There are 2 washi tapes, 4 little envelopes and stickers. So let's see it all. Here is the biggest item, which is the notebook. It has a little pocket here where you can put a photo or something inside, and it has craft paper. It is thicker than regular paper. So most scrapbooks around here that are sold in the stationery stores are like this. Although I prefer binders, you can just stick your photos onto this and take notes and write your titles and everything. So you wouldn't actually need a binder to do a scrapbook. And there are, as I mentioned, these little envelopes. The back side of the envelope has a sticker on it, so you can just stick it onto the notebook and just put a little note in there, a little photo or something, and just close it up. These are the washi tapes that came with it, 1 gold and 1 dotted. And there are here we go, the papers. I already used 2 of them in my layout, so I have this 3 left. And they're the same size as the notebook, so you can just use them as a whole, or like I did, you can cut them off. And the main reason I gravitated towards this set was the stickers. I normally pay at least €1 per a sticker pack, and this entire set cost me €5 for everything, and I knew that I would use the washi tapes for sure, the papers for sure, and the stickers for sure. So it was definitely worth getting the set. And I already used these little arrows, but there are different designs, and these colors are the colors that I like to do in my layout, so it definitely fit. And here I used the crown element and the arrows again, and here there were little triangles that I used, but I still have a lot more to go. So let's get to the layout. In this layout, I will have a lot of photos as opposed to the recent layouts that I did. And I'm selecting the blue and black papers from the Flying Tiger paper kit. And I'm also gonna add some papers from the paper pad, the small one that I used in a couple of the recent layouts. And from that, I'm also selecting the blue and the black papers. And the main reason for the black theme is because these photos were taken during a concert of the Finnish metal band Apocalyptica, which brought the black goth in me basically. So that's gonna be my color scheme, and I'm just trying to see how a couple different layouts could work. So I'm gonna cut this photo a little bit to see if fitting it into the black bordered blue page would work for me, and we'll see how it goes. And my recent scrapbooking video featured a page with 1 and another page with 2 photos, whereas here I have 3 on one side and 4 on the other side, so it's gonna be a little bit fitting. And now I'm just looking for another black paper because I think rather than having the designed black paper, the pattern one from the Tiger set, I can go with a plain one from an older scrapbooking kit I had. So I'm just gonna use the plain black as just a little border, as thin as I can get it to be, and then I'm gonna layer it with blue. So I just brought out my tape and here we go. I actually ran out of the tape roller that I normally use for the second and third layers, so I'm gonna be using the photo corners throughout the entire layout. And I'm just gonna see how many layers I want behind this photo. That's why I actually started with the plain black. So now I'm just adding the blue, and then I think I'm also gonna add the pattern black as well, just to make it pop a little more. After a lot of layering and cutting, the photo is now ready with 3 layers of patterned papers behind it. So now I'm just gonna move on to the photos in the bottom of the side. And for those, I'm actually gonna be using the patterned papers from the other little set that I had, because those are also matching with the color scheme of this layout. And this is actually a quite rare opportunity that I actually have a single photo of myself, because I'm either not in the frame or I'm with my family. So this time I also have a photo by myself and also one with my son that now I'm gonna be layering with this paper. And this is one of the papers from this pad that I'm just showing now, and I'm trying to see if it looks better with another photo, or if I cut it a little maybe. And yeah, I think this is gonna be nice with the writing on the bottom. So let's take this one instead of the starred and pink paper. Let's move it out. I think this is gonna look kind of nice, and I'm just gonna trim it a little bit so that I have the backing paper sort of like a border around my photo, so that the sides and the top has pretty much the same size of a frame. And I'm just gonna leave the text in the bottom free that says "Oh happy day," because, well, it was a happy day because this happens to be one of my favorite bands. So I'm just gonna make sure that the bottom is straight, and then I'm just gonna trim the top of the paper. Now that I've trimmed the excess, here comes the time to stick everything down onto the first side of my layout. As I said, I ran out of my roller tape, so I'm gonna use these little squares to stick these concert tickets as well. And it's gonna be a little hard because the tape roller or a different type of glue would have been easier to manage. But I'm just gonna see how it works and just gonna stick these down by making sure that it doesn't show from the front, so that the stickers don't actually stick to my binder when I put it in. And I'm just gonna add some on the back here so that I can stick this onto the page as well. And I like to keep the concert tickets and like the train or plane tickets in my scrapbooking layouts because, well, this gives me a way to preserve them and also adds a nice touch to the layout with the date and the event. I'm also going to be using the washi tapes that came with the set. Normally I have a hard time using the washi tapes that I have, but since these came with the set of papers that I'm currently using, it makes it easier to make sure that they coordinate. And I kind of like the black dots going well with the gold and the black paper that I have. So all in all, this gives me an opportunity to use more materials than I normally would. And I'm just gonna stick the photo down and then move on to the other side. once I add this photo as well, the next step will be to embellish my layout. And I'm just gonna add more of the gold washi tape here, and then some stickers around the empty areas that I have. As I said in the beginning, I got this scrapbooking kit because I really liked the stickers it had. And I'm just gonna use a bunch of arrows in this layout just right here, and maybe I can add just one more there, and then trim the excess. Or okay, I'm just gonna cut it up so that it doesn't exceed the paper's limitations basically. But now the first side is done, and I'm just gonna move on to the second side. And for the second side, this is the photo that I took of the stage during the concert, and it was during the day in a park in the city of Naantali in Finland, which is just near Turku where I live. So there's this, so I just stuck a black and white photo frame sort of onto my photo from the concert, and I'm just trimming the excess, and now it's ready. This basically let me show just the stage, so it just fit perfectly with the layout. And then I'm just gonna add more embellishments to the above part. I'm going to be using the same papers on this side as well, so I'm going to be starting with the black and going to use a little bit of this pale green that I have left over from a different set. And it is basically just a plain green A4 paper that I cut for another project. And I'm just gonna stick it in the middle, and I also ran out of like regular tape, so I'm using these glue squares for everything right now. But the double-sided tape that I'm using now makes it really easy actually, so I'm not really complaining. And as I said, I'm just gonna add the plain green behind the photo and then the black on top of it, and I'm just gonna trim the excess. And as I did on the first side with the plain black, I'm gonna leave the border as little as I can, and then add sort of like a thicker black around it. Again, now you'll be watching a lot of sticking and cutting because of this layering that I'm actually doing for this layout. And I just want to make sure that the photos pop and there's some pattern and some solids in the color scheme that matches with the overall theme that I'm going for. And once I position my photos and see how everything looks, I'm gonna be adding some washi tape to this side as well, like I did with the other side. And I'm gonna be using the same two washi tapes, the gold and the black dotted one that came with the set. I just want to make sure that the photos fit, and I know how much space I will have left in this corner that I need to fill. But I like filling all the empty areas with different embellishments and stickers and these tapes. I know that it makes my layout look a little crowded, but I really like this aesthetic. It feels like I'll be doing a lot of sticking and a lot of layering until this layout is done, but I want to add some black behind this photo, and I have these two parts of the plain black that I used on the other side of my page. So I'm just gonna put it behind my the photo of my son and trim the excess, and I think I'm gonna add one more layer of color behind it like I did on the other side. And I'm gonna be adding the blue here, and I think I have just enough left of the blue to fit here. I'm just gonna make sure the sides are the same width. And after I get rid of my garbage, the cuttings of the papers, now I can stick them all down, and I start with the top photo and then put the second one in, and then I'm gonna be putting the concert photo on the corner here, and I think I want to make sure that the bottom of it actually matches with the line of the blue of the photo of my son, so it sort of makes a little divider almost in the page. So this little area will be perfect for it. And now I have one more photo. And for this one, I'm gonna be using the leftover paper technique that I did a couple videos before. So I have the black again, the plain black that I'm gonna be using behind the image, and just gonna leave it as a nice little border. And then behind this, after I trim it down, I'm gonna be adding a couple different colors of the pattern papers that I've been using throughout this album. So I have the one that I used on a photo on the other side, and I have this black patterns and the blue pattern. These are from the Flying Tiger kit. So I'm just currently layering all these up and just trying to make sure that the widths actually sort of match each other. So from both sides, exactly the same width is visible. And for this, I will actually need regular tape to stick it down so that it doesn't slide a lot when I'm working with the photo that I'm sticking on top. So it's just basically a matter of trial and error to get it right at how exactly I want it. But I think the easiest is gonna be using just the patterned washi tape that I have with the black dots, and just put it down on there from just the middle. And let's see if everything fits. Okay, now that it's all stuck together, it's gonna be actually easier to maneuver around and slide it and see how the photo fits on top. And once I stick this photo, currently you can see that the sides of these pattern papers are actually a little larger than the A4 page that I'm using as the back. And what I'm gonna be doing then is just I'm gonna trim from the sides, and I'll talk about it once we get there. So let's just first stick the photo on. Okay, the photo is on my backing paper, and I'm just making sure that there are no tapes left. So now I'm just gonna cut these at different angles basically. So I want one to be longer and one to be shorter, and all different from each other. So I'm not really doing any measuring or anything. My main aim is basically to make sure that from the two sides of the A4 page, nothing sticks out, so I can put this into my binder. And let's see if it's gonna fit. That is just perfect. Okay, this also fits, and these were all the photos that I was planning to use for the layout. So now I'm just gonna add some embellishments, and I'm gonna be using some arrows from the sticker kit, and I'm also gonna be using some of the triangles. And I think these triangles are really fun and funky, and they match with the overall paper designs really well. And let's see if I can add some washi tape somewhere here as well, just to make it more funky. And okay, this part you don't really see, but I'm gonna move my page up once I'm done with it, so you'll be seeing everything. But I'm just adding more and more as I go on. I just can't stop myself. I really like these stickers that I got. I'm barely stopping myself from using all of them, but I'm done. Just gonna clean up a little, get everything out, and done. Thanks thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please make sure you hit the thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. I'll be uploading every Tuesday, so I'll see you next time. Bye.